To our daily show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com. Oh, here we go, 10:11 on this 13th day of November. Welcome back, CJ Nasello, our daily show, Nourished Revival. Abigail Parker, how are we doing today?
I am just excited to be here.
So you're in business.
Yes, celebrating my first anniversary. It's so exciting and so cool.
Well, it's really exciting, especially when you make the jump, right? Because I'm sure that you had all the 8 billion conversations with yourself going, do we do this? Should I not? Should I stay where I'm at? What was the decision to really go out on your own?
Yes. Oh my goodness. It was such a long journey because I didn't used to know anything about nutrition or care about nutrition. I thought food was just calories and that's all it mattered about eating, was paying attention to the calories you were eating. And I started to see people on social media, oddly enough, talking about nutrition, and that's how I got fascinated with it, which is crazy that you learn from social media. And I saw other people who were coaching on social media, making a living, teaching people about nutrition. And I was like, I think that I could do this. I worked in healthcare prior to this, and I wanted to work in healthcare because I was like, that's the place to help people. But the more I thought about it, the more I'm like, that's the place where sick people are.
That's true.
Helping sick people. I want to help people feel their best.
Right.
And so I was like, I think I'm going to go back to school. I'm going to get a nutrition certification and go all in on this.
Well, and I think it's really fascinating because, there's, I bet I would almost say about 70% of Americans wake up every day going, well, I could feel 10 times better than what I'm feeling like right now. And a lot of it comes into what we're putting into our bodies. I'm just assuming, correct?
Absolutely. That is the whole thing, is the food you eat directly affects how you feel. I have been working, of course, always trying to do more with my business. And one of the things that I had been trying to figure out was a good slogan. And shout out to Heather from Heather Zenden here
She's
in
great.
Alton.
She's fantastic.
She has been a great friend as I've been getting involved in the community more. And she helped me come up with Thrive, Not Survive as a business name because of our business slogan, because of the fact that that's what my business is all about. Like,
right.
You can live in the day-to-day just comfortable with kind of how you're feeling, but changing up the way that you're eating can allow you to just thrive and feel so much better.
Well, and that's such a huge thing. And so as you're figuring all of this out, you're stumbling upon this on social media. What was the big eye-opening moment for you? Do you remember that where it just all clicked and said, this is it, this is what I'm doing?
Yeah, that definitely is so vivid in my mind because of course, I had that eye-opening moment that did change my life forever because you have to have that moment to make a change. And for me, it was learning that the ingredients that we're eating, that they're putting in our foods, can potentially impact how we're feeling years down the road. At first, I thought that, you can change how you're feeling right now, maybe, but I learned later on in life can be impacted as well. So my eye-opening moment was I actually found out that aspartame, which is an artificial sweetener.
You should hear me do the news. It's the same thing.
Some of those words. Aspartame, which is an artificial sweetener they'll use in some diet products, actually is associated with Alzheimer's later in life.
I saw that, yeah.
Yeah, and so I was like, I'm not drinking diet soda or anything. And then I found out it could actually even be in water. So I had flavored water in my fridge, and I saw aspartame listed on it. And it was like, oh my goodness. Because my grandpa had Alzheimer's. So, of course, that was something really close and dear to me that affected me in such a big enough way that as soon as I saw that what we're consuming could actually affect and potentially increase our chances of getting it, it was like, okay, I have to change. I want to be able to not only make a difference in my life, but if I'm just learning this, I want to help other people learn too.
Right. Well, and it really is. I mean, it's just really important because especially now, I think COVID really was a great eye opener for a lot, just to hit the pause button and to slow down. And then I feel like that's when everyone's going, God dang, what was I eating for 40 years or what was I eating for 4, So when did you make the decision? All right, I'm doing this.
It's funny because actually during COVID was when I started to learn about nutrition.
I become part
oddly
mind
enough.
reader doing this show.
Scrolling social media more because I had the time. So it was during COVID I started to learn more about nutrition, and it was at the end of 2021, actually New Year's Eve of 2021, I signed up for my nutrition program. So I was like, 2022 is going to be such a year. I'm going to dive all in on this. And so I ended up spending 2022 going through getting my nutrition certification to then now, almost a year ago, launch the business. So
Wow.
It's really cool.
Well, take me through the first month, because that's nerve-wracking. I mean, you just do a whole reset here. Let's learn this. Let's go to school. Let's get the certification. And now we got to launch. What was that first couple of months like for you?
Yeah, it was intense because I was still working my full-time job. I didn't want to jump the gun and say like, oh, by the way, I'm going to be leaving and then decide not to do it or anything.
Right.
So I waited until I was finishing my certification before I decided to take the leap for sure. And so I gave them a month's notice while I was starting the business, taking on clients, still working my full-time job. So thinking back to a year ago now was like, holy moly, how did I do it?
Well, that's fascinating. I've talked to so many people and they have the same thought is, how did I get through that couple of months? Is it just one of those things you just put your head down because you know you have something you want to do and you just get to it?
And that's exactly it. At that point, you know exactly what your purpose is, what you're doing, even though you don't really know what you're doing starting a business. But it was great. And I think the fact that right off the bat, I had been present on social media all last year already as I was getting my certification, teaching about nutrition, the things that I was learning. So whenever I went to launch my business and officially take on clients, right off the bat, I got clients because they had been seeing me already sharing information. So I think that helped a lot to get the excitement and the drive going too while I was still finishing my full-time job to be able to push through having clients and do the job as well.
Well, and talk about the folks around you. Family supportive of this?
I think my mom at first was like, what? What are you doing? Because my job is not something people commonly do. They're not commonly
that's true.
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to quit my full-time career and I'm going to get a certification and do my own thing. It's out there. But it's been amazing to be able to share the passion with my family, especially more as I get into it and tell them especially like how I'm helping people and the difference in my clients. It's been really cool to see them being like, so what's going on now?
Right. Well, and it's really important because you put a letter to the editor out in RiverBender a couple weeks ago. I know everything, it's hard. I'm just kidding. I just know I'm going to have a text line that's going to go ding, 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 ding. You're a jerk. They do it every morning. But you wrote something that was really fascinating, and it's kind of going into what I wanted to get talking to you about with the holiday season. I mean, let's be honest here. Everyone knows what that little waistline feels like after a good dinner. We all feel a little bit sluggish, but you put in there such an interesting article about how eating candy isn't the worst thing for you. Fill me in on this.
Yeah. So I just did, like you said, I went out on Halloween about how it can be healthy to eat candy. And that's from my personal journey. Like I said, before I knew anything about nutrition, it was like I ate whatever, it didn't matter. I had a sweet tooth that just ran my life. And then as I got into nutrition, all of a sudden it was like, oh, there's good foods, bad foods. Candy's bad for you. I should only eat the good stuff. And I went into like this restrictive mindset at first, and it was to the point where I wouldn't allow myself to eat the candy because I didn't think it was good for me. And then I went through this guilt cycle where I would get anxiety being around sweets because I knew that I wanted it, but I wasn't letting myself have it. And so people will get in that kind of state of mind where you feel like you can't have something, you get so stressed out and feel bad thinking about having it, but then you want it so much, you end up trying to have just a little bit, and it turns into a little bit more, and a little bit more. And again, I'm speaking
like my
from
gambling.
experience.
It's like my gambling.
Yeah, that's a lot of the time where binge eating comes from, is because of the fact you've restricted yourself so much that now you're just all in on having it. So I wrote this article saying the fact it can be healthy to have candy because you shouldn't be completely restricting yourself from things that you enjoy. And life is really too short to not enjoy food. We should enjoy the food that we eat.
Well, it's such an important thing because you're right. I mean, because I've seen people, and especially because I do pro wrestling and all that. And by the way, got some news. I will be having a few matches. I'm doing one final tour here just to say that I did it. But whenever I was in Austin and I was talking with Dustin, we were talking about like TV and how these guys get ready, the mental anguish that these folks put themselves through to lose a couple of pounds or to keep their ideal weight. You're right. I mean, just that mental anguish of, man, I can't touch that because I'm going to get this, and then you start putting all this pressure on yourself, and then you can't enjoy your nutritional journey. It's kind of like the same tie-in, right?
Yeah. I'm all about balance. That's one of my favorite words. And that's exactly where it comes into this idea of candy can be healthy for you, is when you find this state of balance that allows you to focus on the foods that you know are fueling you and making you feel your best, but then also just enjoying food too. Yeah,
and that's really such an important point. So as we're, let's do this. It's 10:21. I have a bunch of questions left, so I got to pay a bill. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back with more conversations with Nourished Revival, Abigail Parker, right after this. And before that, do you like musical theater? Are you a theater goer?
Yes.
Are you? Yes. Perfect timing. Alton Little Theater has a few upcoming performances of A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder. This is like 1,000 Ways to Die, but for musicals.
Oh, that's fascinating.
Pretty fascinating, right? This is a Tony Award-winning musical that Alton Little Theater, Lee Cox, Brant McCants brought in to celebrate their 90th year of being a showplace right here in the state of Illinois.
And they're amazing if you haven't been.
They really, oh my God, I went my first time a couple months ago and just blown away. I'm like, why have I not been here yet?
Yeah.
You know?
And such nice people too.
They are. They're great people.
Yeah.
And you can celebrate with them their 90th birthday by going to their shows this weekend. Now, Saturday, you need to get tickets for Saturday. That's the date that really has all the seats left. But other than that, pretty much all filled up. You can get tickets, altonlittletheater.org. That's altonlittletheater.org. This conversation continues after this quick one.
Life's better when you're under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you've worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
RiverBender Radio has built 3 great new stations just for you in the Riverbend. The Eagle, the Riverbend's classic rock station. The Bridge, hit music for the Riverbend. And The River, today's country, and all your favorites. Check them out today at RiverBender.com.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Oh, sorry, running out of music bed. 10:24. Welcome back to this conversation with Abigail Parker. I do that all the time. I start talking to someone during the break, and I'm like, oh, yeah, we got a show to do. You know, I do get paid for a living. With that being said, take me through your special this month, because this is really cool. I mean, the first year for anybody in business is tough, but to be able to do this on your own, you aren't, going on Shark Tank and pitching for 40% of your company and you're getting $2 million. You're just doing this on your own and really growing a nice base. So How are you celebrating the occasion?
Yeah, I am doing an anniversary special this month through November 22nd, so right before Thanksgiving, which I'm really excited about.
Yeah.
I work with clients on an individual basis. It's all virtual for 3 months, and I find that the one thing that can get in the way of people's success is planning.
Right.
I work really hard with people to make sure they're set up for success after our 3 months. That's the whole point of my program is I take you step by step through changes that you want to make that are going to get you the results that you're looking for. And then that way, after the 3 months, you can continue what you're doing, feeling confident. But the one thing that can get in the way is planning. So I don't do meal plans with clients because of the fact that I'm setting you up for success. I'm not going to spoon feed you because then you can't continue on your own for
that's
very
true.
long.
That's a good point. I never even thought about that aspect because then you're going to go, hey, why isn't Abigail texting me this week with what I'm eating, you know?
Yeah, I help with recipes. Like if you need inspiration, I love to give clients some recipe examples and snack examples. But I don't do direct meal plans. So for my anniversary special this month, I created what I call my ultimate guide, which I'm really excited about. It's 18 pages, and I've titled it How to Plan, Prep, and Prepare Simple Meals to Maintain Healthy Eating Habits. So everybody who signs up to work with me through November 22nd is going to get this thrown in as a free bonus. And it's something that will hopefully give you that extra boost of confidence to be able to continue on your own after we're finished.
Well, that's just a huge thing. I mean, that's really cool. How long does it take to kind of delve into those 18 pages? How long did it take you to set that up?
You know, things always take me longer than I feel like it should.
Same here.
I'm always like, oh, this is going to be great to just throw together. And no, it took me pretty much a full weekend if you want to, put the hours together. But it was multiple days of just sitting for hours and putting it all together, which I love how it turned out, though.
So let me do this, too, because I want to give a good call to action to this. Let's say, I'm just John Smith. And I call you today. What's that journey start like when I make the first phone call, the first correspondence? Because I think that's fascinating. So take me through that, like an overview of what your journey's like.
Yeah, if anybody's interested in working with me, I do what is called a free breakthrough session first. So it's an opportunity for us to talk about what you're going through and what your results would like to be. So it's really a great opportunity for me just to get to know people and chat. Even if you aren't interested in necessarily signing up to work together at the end of it, there's no pressure. It's just us getting to sit down and me to get to know you to even get just some support for whatever you're struggling with, talk things through. I do them either virtually or if you're local, I love to do them in person as well. So
really cool. I just think this is fantastic. And on top of that, too, might as well, because you put out a Halloween one. I got to ask you about Thanksgiving because we got some people ready to eat some stuffing. What are your thoughts? What's your tips to helping us kind of navigate this before we pick up the phone and call you on the 24th?
I love that you say that because actually my Thanksgiving article just got published as well on RiverBender.com.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
I think I'm just starting to put this together. Lacey McDonald's coming on in 10 minutes. She heard that. I'm starting to get some super stints. I'm like Spider-Man.
Yeah, so when it comes to holidays, when it comes to healthy eating in general, again, that word balance comes up for me. People often will skip meals on holidays because they know they're going to be eating a bigger meal later.
You're so right about that.
Yeah, so that ends up setting you up for failure basically because again, it's that binge eating idea where you're eating more at that point than maybe you necessarily need to. So I say on holidays, eat breakfast. Start the day off, get food in your system right off the bat. Because then whenever you do eat later, you're not going to feel so guilty. You're not going to necessarily feel the need to eat as much. And then balance again as well when it comes to actually eating your meal. So I talk about making sure that you are having a great plate of food, have your turkey and have some stuffing and whatever other sides you want, and then have your dessert and enjoy it because you know that you've eaten a great meal first, so you're not going to overindulge on the dessert.
So I was actually getting ready. I don't know if you're reading minds, but I was thinking last year I was telling myself, you're going to be really a part of Thanksgiving, because I'm always the guy that's like done within a half a plate, and I'm sitting there and I'm kind of bored and I'm kind of just relaxing. So I'm like, you're going to get there. Last year I didn't eat anything. I said, I'm just going to wait till Thanksgiving. I ate nothing at Thanksgiving because I ate like a half a plate and was so full. When I eat breakfast, it's like my body's getting into that rhythm to actually, be able to eat and be hungry and not be hungry. I don't know. It's just kind of my perspective of what I'm picking up. Is that kind of a thing?
That's great to bring up, because often people will say, well, I'm just not hungry in the morning. And one of the signs of a healthy metabolism is actually waking up hungry. I say food is energy. And so if you're not giving your body that energy first thing to start the day, then you're running on stress instead. So it's fantastic to eat something first thing. And that's one of the things that I work with a lot of clients on, because a lot of people aren't used to eating breakfast. We're in such a hurry to get up, start the day, get to work, that breakfast is kind of pushed off. And I have clients that we start off just eating something small that works for them, like have a banana with some peanut butter on it.
Yeah.
And then it's amazing how they start doing that a few weeks in and they're like, I'm hungry in the morning. Like, I wake up and I need to eat.
It's just incredible. Well, Abigail, what's the best way for people to follow along and reach out to you if they want to start their nutritional journeys?
You can, of course, visit my website. It's NourishedRevival.com. When you go on there, too, I have a free guide that you click Start Here, and it gives you 5 simple steps to go ahead and get started eating healthy, eating in this balanced way that I'm talking about, so that you can start to improve your eating and maintain this healthy way of eating. Also, I am very big on Facebook right now, especially sharing like what's going on with how I'm doing things in the community. I love to be involved in the local community. That's one thing I've learned over the past year, especially. So I am on Facebook. You just go search for Nourished Revival and you'll find me on there as well.
Absolutely. Well, Abigail, I really appreciate your time. Congratulations on the 1 year, and you're always welcome back if you have more to share with us.
Thank you. And I always will. There's always more.
I love it. 10:32, that's the time on this Monday morning. We'll take a quick break. Lacey McDonald in the green room. She joins us next.